VIVE. Transform yourself into something amazing. Written and narrated by Debra Pascoe. I dedicate this to you, the person ready to read this book. VIVE. Translation. Italian, lives. Spanish, lives. French, to live. Preface. If you've been through any kind of loss, perhaps a divorce, death, or loss of a job, the pandemic might feel slightly familiar to you. For me, when the shock and disbelief of COVID-19 hit, I went straight back into survival mode, fight or flight. I have been here before, had my world rocked to the core. I immediately began asking myself, how am I going to make this new reality work? What needs to be done? Can I do this? If you're experiencing loss for the first time, your emotions will be wreaking havoc. Rest assured, this confusion is totally and completely natural. This is grief. It's a shock to the system, but different for everyone in varying degrees. It may be sorrow from losing a loved one, sadness for what's happening around us, frustration over the loss of freedom, or even the most primitive emotion, fear, for what the future holds. We've talked for years about lifestyle, work-life balance, holidays, entertainment, and so on. Now that all seems so indulgent. Stripped back to the basics, the most important thing is, quite simply, life. It's what we treasure most and where our focus should be. To live well, and to keep on living when things get difficult. In Italian, we live is si vive. I want to acknowledge our Italian friends for all they've been through and their zest for life, and to remind ourselves that we will live it up again. So how do you live life to the fullest in the face of a crisis, when you're overwhelmed with confusion and stress? We're battling to make sense of it all, but let's be honest, we're also fighting to protect the lifestyles we built. This is a form of grief. I don't care what gender you are, what your sexual preference is, where you live, what your age or cultural background is, the experience of loss is universal. It's strange, because my heart actually aches again, like it did years ago for myself and my family. But I know from experience that as
Sample complete. Ready to continue?